Hi, my name's gwEm and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I wanted to break down the jam I did with my TR-909 last time. So I realised that the 909 is a pretty expensive bit of kit these days on the second-hand market, but I could have used any drum machine to get the same effect. So I'll take you through how all the setup worked, and maybe you can pick up some inspiration for your own tracks as well. Actually, everything is being clocked by the 303, which is here at the back. It's because the 909 doesn't have a DIN sync out. It only has a DIN sync in. The 303 also doesn't have a DIN sync out, it has a DIN sync in too. But there's a trick you can do with the 303. If you put the cable in just a little way, what happens is that you get the DIN signal appearing on the cable, so you can use it as a DIN sync master, and as a result, this 909 is being a slave to the 303. Let's talk about some of the patterns that I've got loaded on it. So I used two patterns in the jam. Here is the first one. And there was a second one as well. You can hear that I used some effects on there. They're all being provided by the Boss BE5, which is something of a bargain, and I went through what you can do with it in a previous video. But basically, I have just a small hair of overdrive and lots of digital delay set up. So as I said, the 303 is the clock master in all this, and it then will play the 909. Let's listen to the beat that I created for the track. So it's a kind of a 4-to-the-floor house pattern, but I did add some extra hits to liven it up. I've used all of the sounds except for the tom. So bass drum, snare drum, rim shot, hand clap, open and closed hi-hat, crash cymbal and ride cymbal. Now the kick drum, I've used the separate output, and it has its own channel into the mixer. And all I've done is to boost the high end on the kick drum. So let's listen to the kick drum on its own. A very characteristic 909 kick. And all the other sounds are going into their own channel, where there's a lot of reverb added, and I've taken out the low end so that it doesn't interfere with the kick drum. Let's talk now about this thing here, which is the Behringer MS-101. And what it is a clone of the Roland SH-101. But there are some cool extra features on the MS-101. So first of all, it actually has MIDI in and out, which the original didn't. The 909 has a feature that a few people don't really know about. And that's that it can sequence over MIDI external instrument. When you put it into the external instrument mode, each of these 16 buttons correspond to a MIDI note. So that means you can have a rhythm playing and at the same time do basic sequencing on an external synth or a sampler or what have you. So I programmed the bass line into the 909, and it's triggering the Behringer MS-101. I'm not using the sequencer on the MS-101, it's being sequenced from the 909. And I think that's a really cool feature of the 909. I wish my favourite drum machine, the 707, would have the ability to do external MIDI sequencing like that as well. Now the 101 is completely straight on the mixer. There's no EQ, no effects. It's just the sound of this synth directly. So I did mention reverb. I'm using the Zoom RFX 300, which I use in most of my jams. That is on a room reverb preset. And underneath it is this Alesis Nanocompressor. So I'll play the track now with the compressor and then without, and I'll switch between it being on and off so that you can hear the difference. So this is first of all with the compressor on. And now with it off. And now I'll toggle between the two. And I personally think it sounds way fuller with the compressor on, and you can definitely hear the difference. So that's a full breakdown of the jam. I hope that you found it interesting and there's something you can take from this for your own compositions. If you could consider subscribing to my channel, that would be really awesome. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. Maybe I can even do it this year, we'll have to see. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in another video soon.